Inside of this nifty little carry case is the Handheld Drone Detection System, a small, lightweight device used to alert you when an enemy drone is encroaching upon your personal space. And in this video, I'm going to show you how it works. The price for this handheld drone detector is a lot. So obviously, if you have to ask, then you probably can't afford it. But for those that are curious, I will put a non-affiliate link in the information section of this video below to the Brush Beater website where you can purchase this handheld drone detector or just see what the price is so that you can ponder your poor life choices. And yes, NC Scout, the owner of the Brush Beater website, did send me this handheld drone detector at no cost so that I could share it with you. Because, my friend, times are uncertain right now. Things are even a little scary. But just remember, and do not forget, it's going to get a lot worse. So when you purchase the handheld drone detection system, in the box, you will receive the previously mentioned nifty carry case. This is not a fancy high-end Pelican case, but it is more than good enough to carry the device and all of its accessories around the battlefield whilst simultaneously keeping everything dry and safe. You will receive some Brush Beater stickers and a valid proof of quality control check certification. You will receive this user manual that goes over the operation of the device with minimal excess words. You will receive some little bags of candy. I already ate the other bag, and they do not taste very good. You will receive a belt clip which attaches to the drone detector, as well as this very handsome wrist strap. You will receive this USB-C's earpiece for plugging into the device and stealthily listening for drone alerts without giving away your location to the enemy. You will receive this European-style USB's charging block and a USB's A's to USB-C's charging cable, which can be plugged into any of the dozen or more USB's charging blocks that you already have laying around your house. You will receive a polymer lithium battery that holds 5,000 milliamp hours of electricity. You will receive an antenna of the very rigid variety. And you will receive the portable handheld drone detection system. On the top, you will find an on-off knob and volume control for the alarm, an LED status indicator, as well as a standard SMA male hole for the antenna. On the side, you'll find 3 control buttons, and on the opposite side, you'll find 2 more control buttons. And behind this near mil-spec door, you will find a USB-C's hole for connecting to the previously mentioned ear hole plug. And on the bottom, you will find another USB-C's hole for charging the battery. This is actually part of the battery itself, not part of the radio, as well as an LED charging status indicator. And on the front, you will find a screen. To the untrained eye, one might think that this looks just like a handheld HT walkie-talkie radio, but it is not. This is a drone detector disguised to look like a handheld HT walkie-talkie radio to the untrained eye, which you will quickly realize once you turn it on. Thusly, on the screen, which performs very well in bright daylight, as you will see momentarily, you will find a battery level indicator, the number of drones detected in the current session, a frequency usage waveform, as well as a little indicator pointing to the frequency of the current strongest signal. And below that, a small waterfall of the frequency use and signal strength. You can use the buttons on the side to increase or decrease the alarm sensitivity based on the signal levels that you see on the screen. This equates to how close or how far away you want the enemy drone to be before setting off the alarm noise. And that signal strength threshold is indicated by this green line. If you press and hold the large button on the side, it will change the screen to list the model or type of drones that it has detected. as well as the frequency that that drone is using. You will see that in the test footage that I will share with you momentarily. It has very simple menus and only a few options. You can set the range of what specific frequency ranges you want it to search, or you can search everything and filter out only specific frequency ranges. And you can turn the vibration alarm on or off, but I highly recommend that you leave it on. And you can set your preferred language to either English, Chi-Com, or Russian. All of those settings are optional. I didn't change anything when I tested it. I basically took it out of the box and turned it on. So basically, this is a small, lightweight, portable SDR with simplified controls and a database to ID specific different types of drones and the frequencies that they use, with a built-in alarm that will go off when it detects known drone signals and frequencies in use above the threshold or distance that you set. Now, no doubt, at this point, some people are already busy furiously typing up stupid comments to let us all know how smart they think they are by proclaiming that they could just build one of these themselves with nothing more than an SDR module, a couple of collinear diodes, a color screen, and a couple of capacitors pico-soldered onto a planar substrate and PCB, and then just put it all into their own 3D printed case for under $20. And whilst these stupid comments are fun to make fun of, they should remind us all that yes, those socially broken dorks with stupid haircuts that you went to school with did actually grow up and they do live amongst us. And yes, they are still just as socially broken and probably still have stupid haircuts. Anyway, this drone detector is similar to what is used in the military, or so I'm told. I would not know myself because I was rejected from the Army due to a severe case of microcuria, although I have since been cured. And this would be particularly useful in a serious shit-hit-the-fan type situation where you may not want the enemy tracking your location and movements or collecting other intel on what you're doing. Because if you think it's a dog-eat-dog world now, just wait until they get tired of what's going on and finally rise up. So as you can see, it's already picking up a bunch of noise, like my security cameras, my GMRS repeater, nearby hams, radios, airplanes, everything else. And this is because it looks at everything, all radio transmissions from 300 MHz all the way up to 6 GHz. But it does not sound an alarm based just on the signal levels. It seems to know the difference between a strong cell phone signal, GMRS radios, Wi-Fi, and everything else, and a drone, because there are strong signals all over the place, and as you can see on the screen, it's not sounding any alarms. But to test it, I wanted to get away from all of that radio pollution, so me and my friend, who is also named Randy, who also has a YouTube channel that I will put in a link in the more information section of this video below. Anyway, his name is also Randy, and since there can only be one Randy on this channel, we call him the Ramraj. So the Ramraj and I took our very manly Jeeps to an undisclosed location many fars from home that is free from radio interference so that I could test whether or not this thing actually works. I cannot tell you exactly where we went because it is highly illegal to fly drones there, so I was very careful not to record anything on video that might give away the location and incriminate us. The Ramraj has a couple of different drones that we will be testing with, so as he got those all set up and ready to fly, me and my security team walked about a half a mile away, behind some hills, so that we had no line of sight between us and the base camp. And of course, I used my Rocky-Talkie GMRS radio to communicate with the Ramraj back at the drone base camp. Ramraj, can you give me a 5 count on the radio, if your hands are free?
Just before I take off.
And the drone detector never sounded any false alarms from my radio, even though it was right next to the drone detector all day long. And pretty much as soon as the Ramraj put the first drone into the air, and long before I could see or even hear the drone, the detector started alarming and buzzing, making me aware of the imminent danger that was approaching. Wow. And the screen correctly showed the brand of the drone and what frequency the drone was using. The detector also immediately detected and ID'd the second drone and continued to sound the alarm, even though that one flew in the opposite direction away from me, further away from me. I never even saw or heard that one, and it was at least a mile away. The third drone was a homemade drone crafted by the Ramraj himself, and this one uses encryption. And although the detector did not sound an alarm, it did alert me to its presence on the screen by looking at the waveforms of the frequencies in use. But then mysteriously, just as the drone was flying above me, it dropped out of the sky. And I see it. There he goes. Probably too small to see. There he is. Nothing on the... Did he just crash? He just crashed. See it. And then the Ramraj started yelling and cussing over the radio, so I had to go and retrieve the wreckage for him. Drone down, drone down. All right, go ahead and power it down. I got it.
Copy.
Stealth drone recovered. The third drone was another homemade encrypted contraption that the Ramraj Frankenstein together himself, and it was also detected on the screen in the 5.2 gigahertz range immediately after he put it in the air, but it didn't sound the alarm. The fourth drone was another encrypted one, also birthed by the hands of the Ramraj, and this one did sound the alarm as soon as it got a few hundred yards away. A couple of 100 yards away. And it was the same thing with the next one, another encrypted Frankenstein model, this one using the 5.7 gigahertz band. The next homemade one that we tested used much lower frequencies and did not sound the alarm, but just like the others that didn't sound the alarm, it very clearly showed up in the waveforms on the screen, alerting me to its presence and the possible danger from the skies above. And by this time it was getting hot and I was starting to sweat, so I made the trek back to drone base camp, packed everything up, and went home. So yes, this thing does work. It takes a bit of getting to know it so you can learn to read the screen and filter out the noisy frequencies, but it does do pretty much exactly what it claims to do. So if you are looking for a drone detector to enhance your shit-hit-the-fan skills, then this might just be the drone detection system for you.